A decade ago, enthusiasts could only daydream about big bikes. With only a few manufacturers officially in India, owning a performance motorcycle wasn't an affordable affair. Kawasaki gave us the opportunity to bring this dream to reality when they brought in the Ninja 250 and the Ninja 650. Both of these great value for money offerings. They continued with the tradition when they launched the Z650, the Ninja 650 and the Z900 last year. The Z650 and the Ninja 650 are the most affordable mid-segment motorcycles, and the Z900 is among the most affordable inline 4. Given their history, when Kawasaki launched the Ninja 400 at 4.69 lakh, there was a lot of controversy. While enthusiasts have been talking of it as one of the reasons why you shouldn't buy the Ninja 400, here are some reasons why you should buy it. Reason 1. It's the right size. And when I say size, I don't just mean dimensions. We'll get to that in a bit. In fact, here it's more about the engine. A 399cc parallel twin liquid-cooled motor that develops about 50 bhp is just the right fit for Indian conditions. Keeping in mind the shape of our roads, you don't need anything more than that, unless you want something for bragging rights. More than the output figures, it's about how the engine is tuned. It can comfortably sit at 100-120 kph all day long and still have enough for those short bursts of madness on an open stretch of road. There's a hint of vibration at about 7000 rpm mark, but it isn't overly bothersome. Unlike the peaky Ninja 300, it does all of this in a very mature and level-headed manner. The Ninja 400 makes its max torque at 8000 rpm, relatively lower than the 300's 10,000 rpm mark. In fact, the 400's power delivery and torque spread is so much more linear that it feels tractable and enjoyable at the same time. You start feeling the punch right from 4000 and it stays that way up until 8000, and then you feel a sudden spike of energy. This comes as a result of a bigger bore, a longer stroke, a different air intake and a revised compression ratio. As you go hard on the throttle, the bike also lets out a nice bassy note from the exhaust that eggs you to keep it on the boil. While it can be a perfect highway companion, it performs equally well in the city too. Unlike the 300, it doesn't feel sluggish at lower revs and feels at home doing speeds of 30 km/h in the 5th gear. In fact, in the top cog, it accelerates from as low as 40 km/h right up till its top speed. With all of this in mind, it's hard not to fall in love with the versatility of the Ninja 400. Reason 2. It's perfectly balanced. Despite the larger motor, additional bodywork, the bigger brakes and the wider rear tyre, the 400 has managed to shed some weight over the 300. Of course, a part of the weight reduction is thanks to the smaller 14-litre tank. But the lighter trellis frame and the lighter wheels have a part to play as well. The real beauty of the 400, however, is just how balanced it feels. Add to that a perfectly tuned suspension and what you get is a motorcycle that handles like a dream. Set up on the softer side, the front may sometimes bottom out, but on the plus side, it doesn't feel jittery over bad roads. The rear is relatively firmer and it gives the bike better stability into corners. The shorter wheelbase and the tighter steering geometry give the Ninja 400 the kind of agility that we yearned for in the 300. Reason 3. It's your everyday big bike. From 1000-kilometer days to daily commutes, the Ninja 400 can do it all with equal aplomb. Kawasaki has nailed it as far as riding posture is concerned. At 785 mm, the seat height is absolutely right, and even an average heighted person can get their feet on the ground pretty easily. The handlebar is flat but not too far, and the rear set foot pegs give it a perfect balance of aggression and comfort. With the exception of the right heel that is constantly in contact with the exhaust, ergonomics for the most part are sorted too. Having spent a lot of time with the Ninja 250 and the 300 before this, I was expecting the 400 to be a little stiff and harsh on the back on broken roads, but I was genuinely surprised the way it tackles broken roads. In fact, while the 300 is stiff and the 650s are softer, the 400 finds the golden mean. And you'd think that with the 140 mm of ground clearance, the underbelly would scrape easily, but that isn't quite the case. All of these aspects make the Ninja 400 a remarkably easy bike to live with, not something that a lot of motorcycles can boast of. Reason 4. It has all the features you need. From LED headlamps, a semi-digital instrument cluster to ABS, the Ninja 400 has all the features that you would expect in a motorcycle from this class. But the one that makes riding an absolute breeze is the slip and assist clutch. The clutch action is lighter than any other motorcycle we've ridden in this class, and that should really help while riding in the city. The only disappointing aspect is the absence of adjustable levers. Not something you would expect from a motorcycle in this class. Reason 5, it looks absolutely fabulous. We loved how Kawasaki has taken this a step further and made it look like a scaled out version of the H2. Although it is marginally larger than the 300, all the bodywork makes it look much bigger than it actually is. From the edgy headlamps, creases on the fairing, nicely chiseled fuel tank and the reeked out rear, there's a sharpness to the Ninja 400 that really catches your fancy. Now that you know the reasons why you should buy the Ninja 400, let's get back to the reason why you shouldn't. At 4.69 lakh, it is ridiculously expensive. Kawasaki's are known to offer phenomenal value for their products, but this time around, they seem to have missed the boat. They really need to source parts locally and rework their pricing strategy for the Ninja 400 to sell in reasonable numbers. But if you still want to go for the broke, the Ninja 400 will always bring a smile on your face.